Yes, because the priestly celibacy is an apostolic tradition. It is not a simple church law or simply a human tradition which can be changed. It is apostolic. And this the church, always the Roman church, insisted upon. From the beginning, in the first centuries, we have plenty documents. And because our Lord himself was celibatarian, and he is the high priest, the only high priest, and therefore it's convening and more convenient, and from the essence of the priesthood, that those who participate sacramentally in the priesthood of Jesus Christ, the priests and bishops, should also live this life, is the celibatarian life. And so also the apostles, many of them were married, not all, but they left. They explicitly, St. Peter said, we left houses, children, wife. And then our Lord also said, who is following me and leaving children, wife, and so on, will have his reward. So, and then we have already in the 3rd, 4th century and so on, continuous documents on church synods which state that the law of celibacy is of apostolic tradition, so very ancient. In the first millennium, the law of celibacy was not the same in the practice as in our days. In the second millennium, because in the first millennium there were also ordained married men to priesthood. But from the moment of marriage, or from the moment of ordination, these married men had to live in perfect continence, so they could not continue to live as husband and wife with their wives. So the church asked them to do this, and we have witnesses about this. Of course, it was not observed, and not always, and there were many also abuses in the first millennium, but it was the traditional rule. And so it is this is kept even today in the Eastern churches, where in some way kept, where this law, where they do not observe exactly the apostolic traditional law of celibatarian marriage. They have married clergy, but when in these days, in our day, in the Orthodox churches, a non-married, a single, is ordained priest, he must live in complete celibatarian life. He cannot marry more. Or when a married priest becomes a widower, even if he lived with his wife, let us say, 1 day or 2 days only, and then the wife died, he must live until the end of his life in celibacy. So, and then also the law of the Eastern churches, the Orthodox, is that a priest, the night before he celebrates Holy Mass, he cannot have conjugal relationship with his wife. And so he must at least one night be in celibacy. And so, but a priest is always a priest, day and night. And a Catholic priest must celebrate daily, not Mass, but it's very much recommended. It is an ideal for every Catholic priest to celebrate daily Mass. So it is evident when he celebrates daily Holy Mass, he must be always in celibacy. You see that this is so evident with these facts. But unfortunately, the Eastern Greek Church in the first centuries, especially in the 7th century, formally abandoned this apostolic law and allowed the priests to continue their conjugal life even after the ordination, with the exception of the bishops. So they only said the bishops, they cannot continue the conjugal life after ordination, but the priest, yes. So they made an exception. And so it is Eastern churches in this manner, they abandoned the exact observance of the apostolic tradition of priestly life in perfect continence.